Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jason Dedeker, how are you doing today? It is late.
It is late. We're up way past our bedtime.
I know. Yeah, your alarm to go to bed just went off.
I know, right? But here we are.
Most people have an alarm to wake up. It's funny that you have an alarm to tell you to go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, a friend of mine in high school was the first one who introduced me to that idea, because he would end up like super sleep deprived, and he ended up getting to this point where he actually had seizures because of it.
Whoa.
And so he set an alarm that would go off and like a timer that would count down to when he had to wake up, so he could see it on his computer and go, I only have this many hours to sleep before I have to get up for school tomorrow. I need to actually do that.
I feel like I'm constantly doing that calculation in my head. I don't need a timer telling me. It'll
apparently
be
this kid needed visual stimulation.
It'll be noon, and I'm like, if I go to bed now, I could get so much sleep.
Wow,
like that's constantly going on in the background of my brain.
Goodness.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but here we are. Staying up way past our bedtime.
It did.
Even on a school night like this.
Good Lord. Speaking of good Lord, this is our first time, well, not our first time, switching books in the middle because of
Not
this,
our first time.
Yeah, it's not our first time, but because of this chronological reading plan, today we're going to dribble in a little bit of Psalms.
Just a little spice of Psalms.
Yeah, just a dash of Psalms
Little
in the middle of
dabble,
numbers.
do ya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first, before we get into that, let's talk about what we're drinking today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that you were going to ask me what we did last time, and I was like,
think on that while we talk about what we're drinking, because I will ask you. Okay, cool. So we are drinking another beer from our listener, Kurt. And this one is called Double Portion. And so what's kind of fun and Bible-y about this is that it actually has a lineage that ties back to the first beer of his that we had on this show months ago. So in Bible style, we had Mosaic Law, which begat Double Portion, Part 1, which was a little too bitter. But the hops from that were used to make Any Kind of Raven, which we had last time, and that begat Double Portion 2, which is the one we're drinking now.
What a lineage.
Yeah, which was by mixing the two double portions together. So that's sort of like happens in the Bible, where like a grandparent will sleep with a great niece or nephew.
Oh yeah,
and, right?
Yeah.
That kind of typical
kind of thing. And then you drink it.
And then you drink it. Yeah. So that's what it is. And this beer has then given birth to another beer, which we will hopefully get to have in a few months. So there's kind of a whole lineage.
I wonder what kind of scrappy beer that's going to be. What kind of beer is this exactly?
So this is a double/triple. I guess it's a double, so it's a Belgian. All of these have been sort of Belgian-y, right? Okay. This one, the ingredient of note here is dark candy syrup.
Whoa.
Oh.
Which I don't know what that is, but it makes me think of like Big Rock Candy Mountain. It is like
that, yeah. It has that kind of
like molasses.
Exactly, that kind of molassy feel to it.
A little chewy.
Dark candy syrup.
It's made from beet sugar and should add some dark fruit /raisiny notes.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, yeah. In the Big Rock Candy Mountain, our beers are made of
raisins.
Beets and raisins.
Sweet.
Okay. Our beers are made by Kurt. Yeah.
That's true too. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's I definitely get the like, once I read him saying raisininess, I was like, oh yeah, that's the taste, because it's like Belgian-y and then has that kind of raisininess.
Yeah, it was super dank and funky when I first drank it, but now I'm like, oh yeah, it's grown on me. Yeah. It's
Oh,
good.
see, I didn't get any funkiness at all. I was just like, oh, that's super easy to drink. It's nice.
Yeah, no, I felt it was real.
Really? I don't know. Not that my palate would be blown out for any particular reason. But...
Maybe because you brush your teeth 6 times a day.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm
just
have
saying,
these
if I
freaking things
if
on.
I brush my teeth with toothpaste and then have a beer, it's gonna
taste weird.
gonna be
yeah.
pretty
That's
funky
true.
and dank.
All right, I'll give you that one.
That's
Fine.
true.
Fine. Okay. Where did we leave off?
Yeah, what happened last time?
I am looking.
You're cheating.
Something. Well, I didn't. I had no idea. I never know. Something happened where God was telling them to look at the land and report
you were
on
like a
something.
kid. You were like
We
a
were
kid standing in
reporting
front
on
of the class.
something.
You were supposed to have a book report presentation. You
Excuse
didn't
me,
read the book,
the
and you're
point
just
is that
like,
I'm not supposed to know that. I'm supposed to like conjure up in my head. You said that I was cheating by looking, and then you're telling me that I'm unprepared because I don't know.
yes, because
Which
you're looking,
one is
because
it?
you're looking and
Come
you're
on,
trying to
Dedeker.
like glean from the text, and you're just like, eh.
All right, we'll give you some hints.
Yeah, let's give you some hints.
Fine.
Don't look it up.
Yeah,
Don't
don't look it up.
Try to remember.
Wow.
Try to
Two
remember.
of you were ridiculous. Yeah. Okay.
Remember there was some
It
gossiping?
was a whole week ago. Yes.
There was some gossiping
Uh-huh.
that Yahweh wasn't so into.
And there were some birds.
There were also homers of birds.
Pigeons?
No,
You
was
thought they were
quail.
pigeons?
it was sea quail. Sea
Yes,
quail.
quail.
Yeah.
You remember what happened with the quail?
People ate them and then they felt icky.
Yeah.
Yes, nailed it.
In a
Yes.
word, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that. Did people die because of these quails?
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
definitely
They
did.
felt so
Yahweh,
icky
it was a
that they
great
died.
plague, is what the Bible
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And then also Miriam and Aaron.
Oh yeah, there was a leprosy debacle for like a
Yes.
day
Yeah,
And-
for whom?
for whom Miriam had the problem. the leprosy problem.
Yeah.
And then Aaron was like, God, come on. Or Moses or someone was like, God, really? And then she was better again.
And then at the very end of the episode, I sang a song from
Hmm.
my Sunday school days.
yeah, you couldn't even, if I had a gun pointed to my head, I couldn't recite that one.
Well, you don't have to recite the song, but do you remember what happened in that chapter that I sang the song about?
I was getting to that and I said that they were looking at stuff
Okay.
and
Spying.
they were spying on the other tribe. I'm assuming it was another tribe.
There's multiple other tribes, I think, in the land of Canaan.
And they realized Joshua or someone was like, yeah, we can't do this. And then a couple other people were like, no, let's do it. And then they were like, oh, those guys are the ones who really care about God because they're doing it.
I mean,
As
that
in
was
going.
what we said and what Dedeker's
Because that
song
came from the
said.
song,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
But what actually
you just
happened
asked
in
me
the
what
story-
the song was.
What actually happened in the story was that Caleb was like, yeah, we can take them.
and
And
everyone
we
was like,
assumed maybe Josh did too. But that everyone else was like,
nah.
we're
Heck
too
no.
scared.
Yes. And they brought back samples.
Yeah. But then they came
They
back.
brought back clusters of grapes and figs
Yeah.
to be like, hey, look, stuff grows here.
Right. But they were like, but it's guarded by giants, by Nephilim.
Oh, yeah.
And like, we
And we look
shouldn't-
like grasshoppers to them.
Yeah.
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 that's-
Because 10 were bad and 2 were good.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's what the song said.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, wait, the two good ones were Caleb and Josh?
We
I guess
think,
we
yeah.
need to keep reading to actually get that from the text, as it were.
Right. Because we only heard Caleb mentioned saying, like, yeah, we can do this. And
But it was
everyone else
like-
being like, no.
Who was the other? Let's just pretend. Okay, cool.
All right. So today, as Dedeker teased earlier, we're reading Numbers 14 and 15, and then having a little dash of Psalms with Psalm 90. So Numbers 14
Exciting.
and 15, and then Psalm 90.
Sweet.
As we get into this, we want to remind our listeners to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
No thanks.
Nah.
And with that, Numbers 14. All the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night. All the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron. And the whole congregation said to them, Would that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would that we had died in this wilderness. Why does Yahweh bring us to this land to fall by the sword.
I see. So it's like, why bring us all the way over here when we can't even take the land?
I mean, okay. I get that God is probably like over all these people's bitching and moaning.
I mean, they are pretty whiny.
Yeah, they're soups
Oh, he's
whiny.
definitely over it.
And
Yeah.
he's like, guys, how
but
many
think about
times have I made it okay for all y'all?
Remember that time when water came out of a rock? That was cool.
But,
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. But think about it, though. That God is like, yeah, I'm going to give this land to you. Going to give this land to you. It's beautiful land, flowing with milk and
And they're
honey.
like, where is
Gonna
it?
give it to you.
Where is this
And then
land?
he's like, oh, it's here. Oh, a bunch of people live on it.
Yeah.
By BT Dubs. P.S. Forgot to tell you about that one. It's like if you finally got to a restaurant that you really wanted to go to for a long time and you're like, oh, we have a reservation. Like, oh, okay, yeah, here it is. Oh, actually, there's 6 people sitting at your reserved table.
No, come on now.
Now you got to kill him.
I'm actually taking Yahweh's side here, but yeah,
Are
like
you?
all along,
What's Yahweh's side?
they've known they were going to take this from the Canaanites.
Yes.
It wasn't like
was
you
that
show
like
up
a
to the
thing?
table and you have to fight to the death the people at your table at the restaurant. It's not like that. You went in knowing you were going to fight them to the death.
Okay.
So
all right.
wait a minute. Are these people the Abelites and the Canaanites?
The
Right?
Abelites.
Isn't it Cain and Abel?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
That's an interesting
Oh, yeah.
connection to make, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's not based on that.
Oh.
The land
well,
is called Canaan. They're called the Canaanites.
unrelated.
It's
Yeah.
unrelated.
Well, it shouldn't be.
Well,
well.
it is.
It's too bad.
Whatever. Okay, fine.
No, yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, then unrelated. This is an entirely different tribe that has a different religion, different, not from their family tree at all.
Yes.
I mean, well, probably going back far enough, but you know.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Where did I leave off here? Our wives and our little ones will be a prey. Wouldn't
a
it?
single prey.
A single prey. Wouldn't it be better for us to return into Egypt?
Yeah, they're gonna really welcome you back with open arms. Come
Yeah.
on.
They said one to another, "Let us make a captain."
Out of gold.
Just yeah.
A golden captain.
Exactly.
Or is it like Captain Planet? They're like, let's put our rings together and make a captain.
Who we should have called in the first place, really.
Yeah. Let us make a captain and let us return into Egypt. I think they're saying, let's get a different leader.
Yeah, that makes
Whoa.
sense. And let's have him take us back to Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh, please read this next part.
Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces. Let me actually read that in context. Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel.
It doesn't make it much better. Like they're like, oh god, and then they like throw themselves on the floor, slip and fall.
I'm assuming
man.
they're like crying.
I don't-
on the
it's-
Crying,
floor.
praying, begging,
I don't know. Yeah.
humbling themselves.
Yeah. Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Chephannah, who were of those who spied out the land, tore their clothes.
Wow.
Wow.
We haven't seen this since Job.
Yeah, it has been
Yeah.
a while since some good old clothes tearing.
Clothes tearing,
Yeah.
And they spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceedingly good land. Is an exceeding good land.
Who wrote this?
I tried to make that English better than this was.
Yeah, but
The land which we passed through to spy it out is an exceeding good land. If Yahweh delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey.
is it literal milk and honey? And or is this just a metaphor for like all the good things that are in this
Well,
land?
milk is fat and honey is sweetness and sugar. So, and think about like you probably
And 10
didn't,
were bad and 2 were good.
and 10 were bad and 2 were good. And you probably didn't have a ton of access to fat or to sweetness back then. So, so milk and honey symbolize like the best of the best as far as the things that you can
Get?
consume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking at work today about how weird food is when you think about it too much. And honey is
What?
one of those.
Oh, honey is a real weird
where
food.
it's like, yes, some bee vomit.
yeah. Who was
Yeah, I
who was
really-
the first
I
person
really
who was
try
like,
not-
let me try this?
I don't. Yeah, like honey
must have
is
seen-
not vegan, so
They must have seen a bear or something.
Yes,
they must have seen other
animals.
animals going after it and been like, they're onto something. I'm
be
gonna try
like,
that.
let's.
But think about it though. The first time you tasted honey, you'd just be like mind blowing because there's nothing that sweet. Like
Yeah,
not even
that's true.
fruit gets that sweet. You know, you just be like, what is this?
Yeah, it would be pretty delightful.
So that's why if you're like
This
a land
bee
full of
vomit.
honey, they'd be like, heck yes.
Heck yes.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Only don't rebel against Yahweh, neither fear the people of the land, for they are bread for
Oh
us.
boy, jeez.
Cannibalism much? Okay, their defense is removed from over them, and Yahweh is with us. Don't fear them. What the heck are you talking about? They are bread for us. That's I gotta look up a translation.
It must be like we could smoke it, we could eat them for breakfast. It's literally what he's saying.
Transubstantiation?
No, it's definitely not that. I am.
What is it?
Someday we'll get to that.
We're not going to get to transubstantiation in this chapter.
I was just saying, like, are they making them into bread?
Is their flesh becoming bread?
Yeah.
Okay, what
magically?
Like Jesus.
Maybe Caleb and Joshua were just bad at metaphors, and they were trying to go for like a, we're going to cut through them like a hot knife through butter. Or toast them, and they mix up the two metaphors.
Whoa,
and
okay, that's a lot.
you know?
That's a lot.
Oh, dear. The other translations are not any better.
What do they say?
The Bible in Basic English and the Darby translation and several others say, do not go against the Lord or go in fear of the people of the land, for they will be our food.
Gosh.
So,
Yeah, they just come right out and say it, don't they?
yeah. And then, of course, the more paraphrasical translations, such as the Good News translation, I'm imagining probably the message to,
What does it
oh
say?
my. So the Good News translation says, we will defeat them easily.
Okay, yeah.
Like they took it more metaphorically.
We'll have them for lunch.
That's the message.
I knew the message was going to say that. I said we'll eat them for breakfast, or we could eat them for breakfast.
Why we'll have them for lunch.
I knew that's what the
Cheers,
message would say. Now that is really
Wow.
weird because I don't know of anyone who says that about an inconsequential challenge of like, I'll have him for lunch. But here we are.
Well,
do like
I'll eat them for breakfast, you can hear.
Yeah, exactly.
But not for lunch.
Not for lunch.
That's
Yeah.
random. I'm going to have them for brunch. How about that?
I don't even want to get up early to eat
Yeah,
these
that'd be a
people.
nice mimosa, and we'll just chill.
Yeah,
It'll be great.
Emily will wait on me
Yeah,
while I'm
Emily will-
eating them. Anyways, yes.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, it's just, I love the idea that he's sitting there being like, how can I translate this into like modern vernacular so people get it? We'll have them for lunch. That normal expression that people use.
That thing that totally exists.
Yeah, I'll just say that.
I don't know about the World English Bible. Anyways, okay.
Okay. I actually think the World English Bible is maybe a more reasonable translation than some of the others.
Yeah,
But all right.
Yeah.
But all the congregation bade stone them with stones.
What?
So all the congregation is like, we're not listening to your horse
We're
crap.
going to stone you?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
They bade stone them? I'm assuming means like
They were like,
they
we're
were going
going
to.
They
do
wanted
that?
to.
They wanted to?
Yeah.
They were threatened to, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. The glory of Yahweh appeared in the tent of meeting to all the children of Israel.
Yeah, I was like, ugh,
that
guess
must
I
have
gotta
been
step in here.
horrifying. That must have been horrifying.
Yeah. Yahweh said to Moses, how long will this people despise me?
This whole
Again,
people over
same
there,
thing.
this people.
This people thing. I'm kind of over this whole people thing. I tried to get rid of
Yeah.
you once before. It didn't work
really
out.
should have. I'm only into angels.
Yeah.
What is up with you people?
And how long will they not believe in me for all the signs which I have worked among them? I will strike them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and will make of you a nation greater and mightier than they.
Okay, hang on. We've been here
What?
before.
Yeah, we've gotten
been here
this
before
before.
with Yahweh being like with the flood, right? Where he's like, I'm sick of all this people. Like, these are bad people. I'm just going to get rid of them. And Noah, you're going to be my new hope. All right. And now I think he's threatening to do the same thing with Moses, where he's like, Moses, I'm just going to get rid of them. I know you're like 967, but
You got to be making some more babies.
Yeah.
We're
okay?
gonna make some more
I don't want to
babies,
hear about
okay?
it. Yeah.
And they're going to repopulate a whole tribe.
Yeah.
But they're going to be cool.
we'll start over with the Cushites. How about that?
Third time's a charm. Don't even worry about it. Boy, okay. Moses said to Yahweh, then the Egyptians will hear it, for you brought up this people in your might from among them, and they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, Yahweh, are in the midst of this people, for you, Yahweh, are seen face to face, and your clouds stand over them, and you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night.
Cool.
I know, right? Now, if you shall kill this people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of you will speak, saying, because Yahweh was not able to bring this people into the land which he swore to them, therefore he has slain them in the
So
wilderness.
Moses is basically being like, this is going to be real bad PR, Yahweh.
I think that's basically, yeah.
And also, like, I'm sorry, this is a real technical question here, but why did they sometimes put the quotations in quotations and sometimes don't? Like, right now they're not.
Only Yahweh knows.
No,
Yeah.
I doubt he does. It's someone who wrote this.
Yeah.
It does seem unclear.
Yeah.
Why
This
they-
is kind of a funny arena of, or a line of questioning for Moses to go into of like, hey, Yahweh.
Yahweh,
this is,
Yahweh,
think about,
Yahweh.
Think about what the Egyptians are going to say. Just,
Yeah, they're going to be like, you know what?
I get it.
We
man,
were better
I
off
get
without
it.
him.
I get it. Totally get it. I'm sick of this people too.
yeah.
This people, you know
they
what?
really get on my nerves
man.
too. But just like imagine, like I'm gonna have to write a press release. Everyone's gonna be bothering me. You know, it's like it's really gonna be a hassle, Yahweh.
Yeah, and that he's like, and I mean, it doesn't help the fact that you're so flashy, you know, with the whole pillar of cloud.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows you. You know, you're a household name. You know.
Everyone's gonna hear about it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You can't just be like, oh no, that was a different tribe. It's like, no,
no, we know which Yahweh it was.
you're quite a presence. Yeah,
Anderson Cooper's going to have a field day.
right. Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
Now, please let the power.
Please.
Let the power of the Lord be great, according as you have spoken, saying, Yahweh. I love this. He's like, what if we wrote this press release instead?
We're just fabricating it a little.
Yeah.
Starting with this
Dude,
part.
let's try to just tighten up the image a little bit.
Yeah.
here.
Here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
okay. Just like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Play with me here, right?
Yeah.
Let's some new branding.
Let's
So what if Yahweh is slow to anger
what a concept.
and abundant in loving kindness?
What? Oh, wow.
Forgiving iniquity and disobedience.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
And that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, on the third and on the fourth generation.
Jeez.
Yeah, okay. Pardon, please, the iniquity of this people, according to the greatness of your loving kindness, and according as you have forgiven this people from Egypt even until now.
So okay, he really is like, but think about what a better, like, really, okay, I'm just thinking about the long term scenario for your brand, Yahweh. Okay, I'm thinking long term, right? You know, that instead of just killing all these people in one stroke,
Yeah.
you really leaned into like, how amazing am I that I forgave them?
Yeah.
You know, and then
Wow.
that's something we can really work with. That we can get into the whole news wire.
Now that we can sell.
No one,
So basically,
no one's going to be
Moses-
expecting it. Either you're going to have zigged when they think you're going to zag.
Yeah.
So basically, Moses is like the ultimate like mastermind here.
Well,
Maybe.
he's been his PR guy the whole time, really.
Yeah, I mean
Yes,
for
yeah.
sure, but he really knows what he's doing. Like I don't know who trained him in this. Maybe
yeah.
like he
Maybe
just
he was a prince of Egypt.
It's true.
yeah he
Maybe
was
that's
the
why.
Prince of Egypt. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Or I guess the
He was a prince of Egypt.
yeah.
He was
Some-
the Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe
the,
that's where he got his
DreamWorks
chops.
film. Yes, indeed. I mean, he's really good at this. And Yahweh's like, look at what.
Well,
does
let's see
Yahweh
what
say?
Yahweh
here,
says.
Here he goes.
Yahweh said, I have pardoned according to your word.
Mm-hmm.
But in very deed, as I live, and as all the earth shall be filled with the glory of Yahweh, because none of those men.
Wait,
Wait.
all those men.
Because
How did you turn? How did you mix that up?
That's a great question.
This beer is too strong. This beer that Kurt made
It
is too
turned
strong.
all into none. Okay.
Boy, because all those men who have seen my glory and my signs, which I worked in Egypt and in the wilderness, yet have tempted me these 10 times and have not listened to my voice.
Has it been 10 times? I don't know, Yahweh. I don't know.
Hyperbole, you know. Surely they shall not see the land which I swore to their fathers, neither shall any of those who despised me see it. But my servant Caleb, because he had another spirit with him, and has followed me fully, him I will bring into the land into which he went, and his seed shall possess it.
I think that he means sperm.
I think so, yeah.
I think he's referring to like Okay. All right. Okay,
I mean, I
Moses.
think it means it's children. But,
We'll compromise here.
right.
Great. I'll forgive them, but they don't get to go into the promised land.
Yeah.
Like, their kids get to go into the promised land.
Whoa.
And Caleb, because he's one of the good ones, get to go into the promised land.
I thought he said even their kids wouldn't go in. Maybe it's only Caleb's kids.
They
or
shall
maybe
surely not see the land which I swore to their fathers, neither shall any of those who despised me see it.
Okay, so just the current
Yes.
the current despisers.
generation of despisers.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Now, the Amalekite and the Canaanite dwell in the valley. Tomorrow turn you and get you into the wilderness.
Get you into the wilderness.
By the way to the Red Sea. Back to the Red Sea. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron. So again, Aaron was complaining before about Yahweh not speaking to him, but it does seem like it happens sometimes. Anyway.
Aaron needs to calm down.
I know. Yahweh spoke to Moses and to Aaron, his favorite boy, saying, How long shall I bear with this evil congregation that murmur against me?
Murmur.
I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. Did I mention their murmuring?
That's an ononomatopoeia, isn't it?
Murmur?
Murmur?
Yeah.
Murmur,
I guess it could be.
murmur. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Thanks.
Tell them, as I live, says Yahweh.
As I live
Surely-
and breathe, but I don't because I am Yahweh and I don't need to do either things. I just exist and am
As I
everything.
live, says Yahweh, surely as you have spoken in my ears, so will I do to you. Your dead bodies shall
Whoa,
fall in this
calm
wilderness,
down, jeez.
and all who were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward.
That's what it is. Everyone older than 20, they don't get to go. They
who
have to die in the wilderness.
murmured against me, surely you shall not come into the land, concerning which I swore that I would make you dwell therein. He's really getting ahead of himself here. Save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun.
What about Jephthah and Nun?
What?
Jephunneh
Jephunneh?
and Nun. Do they get to go?
Jephunneh.
No, because
no.
they're older than 20.
Well, but he's saying Caleb, who is older than 20, and Joshua also,
They're the only ones.
they're all right.
Yes.
Yes.
They go.
I think he just had to specify because there's probably like 1,000 Calebs, the one who's Jephunneh's kid, and Joshua, son of Nun. But your little ones
Whoa.
but your little ones that you said should be a prey, which was a weird thing to say, them I will bring in. So you were right, Dedeker.
Yes.
Yeah. And they shall know the land which you have rejected. But as for you, your dead bodies shall fall in this wilderness.
Does that mean he's going to kill them right now, or does that mean just like whenever they die?
Who knows with Yahweh?
Because honestly, these people are living a long time.
That's true.
I mean, presumably not
I
actually.
feel like
that
not as long nowadays. I mean, those are days.
I thought that Dedeker just said that Moses was like 900 years old.
I was exaggerating.
Yeah.
I was for the sake of making a joke.
Emily takes everything you say very seriously.
I know.
Please be more responsible.
I don't want to be, though.
That's most people, though. I take what most people say very seriously.
Got it. Okay. But as for you, let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. No one. Okay.
What is that? Is that from like The Matrix or something?
That was around that time.
It was
that
around
song
that
was
like,
really
in
popular.
in the 90s.
We really don't need to go
2000s.
down that
Okay.
pathway. But
Okay, cool. Your children shall be wanderers in the wilderness 40 years, and shall bear your prostitution
What?
until your dead bodies be consumed in the wilderness.
Whoa. Okay.
After the number of the days in which you spied out the land, even 40 days, for every day a year shall you bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and you shall know my alienation.
Hold on. I feel like the thing that all the congregation did, other than complain, which I get is annoying,
Yeah.
but they were just like,
God,
hey,
like, what's up
this
here?
seems a little
What's up?
hard to take this land. Like, maybe we should be cautious, you know? Like, it wasn't even like, Yahweh doesn't know what he's doing. We're not going to take this land. It was just like, hey, this is a little scary. Maybe we shouldn't do this. This is a little nerve-wracking.
It's a little in between the two, though.
You think so?
Yeah, because at the beginning they were like, what did he say?
It's true. They were like, let's kill everyone in power.
They
and
lifted up
just...
their voice and cried and wept in the night. And why don't we, like, bounce, you know? Like... bounce and lounce on out of here.
I guess that's true. That is definitely like a mutiny for sure. And so, of course, Yahweh's like, I got to put the kibosh on this one.
Yeah, I mean, Yahweh's not about all them mutinies.
Boy. Okay, so you shall bear your iniquities even 40 years. You shall know my alienation. Got it. I, Yahweh. Does that count as the I am Yahweh? Do we drink for that?
No, not unless
it's not like for I am Yahweh or whatever.
Yeah, it has to be at the end of the sentence and like kind of superfluous.
Good.
Yeah.
This is pretty superfluous. I, Yahweh, have spoken. Surely this will I do to all this evil congregation who are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. The men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up an evil report against the land. Even those men who did bring up an evil report of the land died by the plague before Yahweh.
Whoa.
Gosh. So he just killed them outright.
Yeah, I guess they died from that plague
just
that
now?
Still hadn't ended yet, I guess.
Oh, okay.
The timeline's a little weird, though, right?
No, I think that this just happened. I think he just struck them with the plague just now.
Right now.
Yes.
Okay. Died by the plague before Yahweh. But Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, remained alive of those men who went to spy out the land.
Wait. Is he narrating this or is this
No, it's switched.
Yeah,
he stopped speaking.
This is so annoying.
I know.
Would somebody like write it like more cohesively?
Many people have. The problem is that we can only read this version.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, end quote was after, and there they shall die. And then it was the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing up an evil report against the land. Even those men who did bring up an evil report of the land died by the plague before Yahweh.
Okay. So they gone. They did.
But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh remained alive of those men who went to spy out the land.
Cool.
Moses told these words to all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. They rose up early in the morning and got them up to the top of the mountain, saying, Behold, we are here, and will go up to the place which Yahweh has promised, for we have sinned. Moses said, Why now do you disobey the commandment of Yahweh, seeing it shall not prosper? Don't go up, for Yahweh isn't among you, that you not be struck down before your enemies. For there the Amalekite and the Canaanite are before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you are turned back from following Yahweh before Yahweh. Therefore, Yahweh will not be with you. But they presumed to go up to the top of the mountain. Nevertheless, the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and Moses didn't depart out of the camp. Then the Amalekite came down, and the Canaanite who lived in that mountain, and struck them and beat them down, even to Hormah.
Hormah?
What is that?
What?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Last line of the chapter.
Okay, so they were like, no. Okay, we've sinned. We're going to go up into the land. And Moses is like, we're not coming with you. We're not going to bring the weapon of mass destruction to protect you. And Yahweh's not going to be with you. And they're like, whatever, we're going to go anyway. And then they got beaten down.
Yeah.
Got killified.
Even to Hormath.
Even to Hormah.
Even to Hormah. I got to look up a translation of to Hormah. Because that was the last verse in that chapter. It's got to be a place,
right? So it seems like geographically they beat them back to all the way to Hormah, that old saying.
Yeah, the Bible in Basic English says driving them back as far as Hormah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously.
Gosh, I feel like Yahweh's not going to have any people left. After a certain point, he keeps killing them left and right or letting them die.
But it's like, there's more people. There's always more.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
Always more where theirs came from.
Theirs came from, yes.
Mm-hmm.
More where theirs came from.
All right. Came from.
Numbers 15. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when you are come into the land of your habitations, which I give to you, and will make an offering by fire to Yahweh, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice, to accomplish a vow, or as a freewill offering, or in your set feasts, to make a sweet savor to Yahweh, of the herd or of the flock, then shall he who offers his offering offer to Yahweh.
Wow.
Jeez.
How many times do you have to say offer, offer?
Okay. Then shall he who offers his offering offer to Yahweh a meal offering of a 10th part of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with the 4th part of a hin of oil.
What's a hin?
We've been down this path
Some unit
so
of
many
measurement.
times.
All right, fine, hin.
Just trust it's a unit
hin.
of measurement. Yes,
Hin.
and wine for the drink offering. The 4th part of a hin shall you prepare with the burnt offering or for the sacrifice for each lamb. That was just a word salad, wasn't it?
I didn't get anything out of what you just read.
It was a word casserole.
Yeah, really a word
salad
casserole.
would be, in my opinion, a little bit more, I don't know, elegant.
Okay,
Lovely.
yeah, casserole. We just kind of tossed it in the oven.
Yeah.
Or for a ram, you shall prepare for a meal offering 2/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour mixed with the 3rd part of a hin of oil. And for the drink, it's just, okay, this is just so weird to me that we went from like all these people
I know,
dying,
and it's like,
I'm
you know what?
cursing them for their plague. Oh, but you know what? Okay, Moses, one more thing. One more thing.
Moses.
So make sure that like when they give the sin offering, that it's like that they get the ratios right, you know, because it's like if they get the ratio off, it's just like sometimes it's like too oily, or like if they get it off, it's like too dry.
yeah,
and it's just like it
right.
really doesn't mix with the meat, and it's like really doesn't, you know, it really doesn't do it for me.
You know I like my meat, Moses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. You know I like my meat.
Okay. And for the drink offering, you shall offer the 3rd part of a hin of wine of a sweet savor to Yahweh. When you prepare a bull for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice to accomplish a vow, or for peace offerings to Yahweh, then shall he offer with the bull a meal offering of 3/10 parts of an ephah of fine flour, mixed with half a hin of oil. And you shall offer for the drink offering half a hin of wine, for an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh.
Haven't we done this before?
You know, I think he's just getting more specific, because I think before it was like the same ratio of flour to oil, and now Yahweh's like,
Let's tweak this a bit.
people
Yeah.
are like
For a
sacrificing a
bull.
bull and just giving me like a cracker, and it's really not enough cracker to go with the bull. You
Do you
know,
think Yahweh
that's-
eats?
the offerings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't need.
in a
I mean, I
manner.
don't know. Does he not need to eat? Does he need to
he
eat?
just he calls it a sweet savor. This could have been the priests being like, hey, we need enough biscuits
Right.
with the chicken. Like, you
Like,
really gotta give us
There were
I
no
know.
chickens.
well,
But,
Dedeker.
like, okay, let's think about it though. You know when you get like a charcuterie plate,
yeah.
and they
How do
give you like
I've
the
never been able to say that word.
Charcuterie.
charcuterie.
well, you never have to
charcuterie.
say it because you
Yeah.
don't eat it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But you know they'll give you
Yes.
like 2 tiny pieces of
Right,
bread,
and you're like, what
just
the hell is this?
Come on, can I please get some more bread? I think Yahweh is kind of like, come on, seriously though.
or the priests.
My charcuterie is not up to snuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like, please, we need far more bread than this.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that's a bull. Okay, yes. And you shall offer for the drink offering half a hin of wine for an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh.
Yeah.
Thus shall it be done for each bull, or for each ram, or for each of the he lambs, or of the kids. According to the number that you shall prepare, so shall you do to everyone according to their number. All who are homeborn shall do these things after this
What?
manner. People who are
Like
native.
natives, yeah.
In offering an offering
Oh.
made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh.
I literally was like, are they born in the homes and so they're homeborn?
As opposed to what? Being born just like on
Like
a
it-
rock outside?
no, like not in the
know.
delivery room, but you're like a home bird.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And then I was like, well, I don't think that they have like
I'm pretty sure.
delivery
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
rooms.
all the birds were home birds
yeah, I
back
think
then.
so. Okay.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
Okay. If a stranger sojourn with you, and whoever may be among you throughout your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor to Yahweh, as you do, so he shall do. For the assembly there shall be one statute for you, and for the stranger who sojourns with you, a statute forever throughout your generations. As you are, so shall the sojourner be before Yahweh. One law and one ordinance shall be for you, and for the stranger who sojourns with you. So, okay, even people who
Yeah,
don't belong to us
same-
have to follow our
samesies.
rules.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Um,
interesting.
Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and tell them.
I bet they're so over all these speak to the children of Israel. I bet they're like, what now,
here it
Moses?
I think
Again.
Moses is
What
like,
now.
Yahweh, you don't need to qualify it. I know anytime you speak to me, it's not to me. You're never going to ask me how my day went or how I'm feeling.
You don't care.
You're never going to check in on the missus or the kids. Like, you just want me to be the messenger. So you don't even have to clarify. Whatever you tell me, I'm going to convey to everyone else. Calm down. All right. Speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when you come into the land where I bring you, then it shall be that when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall offer up a heave offering to Yahweh. So it's like, we know it's going to be 40 more years before you can come into this land, but just make sure that when you do, you're still offering offerings. Like, as soon as I give you this land, the transaction's not over.
Don't think that just because you got here now, you're off the hook.
40 years for you is nothing for me. It's a drop in the bucket.
Of the first of your dough, you shall offer up a cake for a heave offering.
Ooh, let's heap a cake around. A big old frosted one.
I don't know why that's funny to me. Just, okay. I don't know why. Okay. As the heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you heave it. Heave it good. Of the first of your dough, you shall give to Yahweh a heave offering throughout your generations.
Heave it good.
When you shall err and not observe of these commandments, all these commandments which Yahweh has spoken to Moses, even all that Yahweh has commanded you by Moses, from the day that Yahweh gave commandment and onward throughout your generations, then it shall be. If it be done unwittingly, without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall offer one young bull for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor to Yahweh. With the meal offering of it, and the drink offering of it, according to the ordinance, and one male goat for a sin offering.
It's like a whole complete meal there. Got a meal offering, a drink,
what in the
and
world?
an entree.
The priest shall make atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and they shall be forgiven, for it was an error. And they have brought their offering, an offering made by fire to Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh, for their error.
It's only going to be the children left now.
Gosh, yeah. And all the congregation of the children of Israel shall be forgiven, and the stranger who sojourns among them, for in respect of all the people it was done unwittingly. If one person sin unwittingly, then he shall offer a female goat a year old for a sin offering.
I'm sorry, for a moment I just read a female and I was like, oh no.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Here we go.
But you know what? I wouldn't have
batted an eye.
surprised.
No, leave that shit to Molech.
Yeah. The priest shall make atonement for the soul who errs when he sins unwittingly before Yahweh, to make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. You shall have one law for him who does anything.
You shall have one law.
You shall have one law.
We're going to make a musical out of this book, I tell you.
God, no,
can
please
we not?
do it. No, please
Drunk
do
Bible
it.
Study the Musical. Please tweet at us. How many people would come see Drunk Bible Study the
Will
Musical?
somebody help us write it?
That'd probably be pretty good, actually. It's kind of like have you seen that play of the entire works of William Shakespeare abridged?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
It's
haven't seen it
also,
either,
it's also
but
a good one.
I'm sure
Okay.
it's good.
It would probably be boycotted by the...
That's even better. That's good press.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Such good press. It would be on the side of BibleStudyTools.com. It would be
look
like
at these
Like, sign
blasphemers.
the petition against
Yes.
Drunk Bible Study, the musical.
Exactly.
You shall have one law for him who does anything unwittingly, for him who is homeborn among the children of Israel, and for the stranger who sojourns among them. But the soul who does anything with a high hand...
Okay.
High hand.
Well, please don't do the Sig Heil, because that's what...
I'm doing it with two hands.
No, that's what Jace did, though.
yeah.
Come on, you
okay.
Aryan boy.
So,
I've been working on Man in the High Castle lately, so it's
dear.
just,
Yeah.
But the soul who does anything with a high hand, whether he be homeborn or a sojourner, the same blasphemes Yahweh, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Because he has despised the word of Yahweh and has broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be on him. So much for this whole, forgiving,
Yeah.
I mean,
compassionate.
that was going to last for about 5 seconds, let's be
Exactly.
honest.
While the children of Israel were in the okay, hang on. Hard left.
Yeah, okay.
Hard left.
So, like,
okay.
the music... Pause. Music changes.
Okay. When the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day.
Could they have done like an indent?
What do you think's going to happen here, Em? It's going to be bad.
I don't know. They're probably going to kill him.
Probably.
Let's be
But
honest.
they just found him. Was he An
Was he-
Israelite or just a dude?
He was a dude. He was probably a Canaanite, or maybe not even. Maybe he was just some random dude.
Yeah.
Those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation.
Did they just grab him? They're like, grab the stick, boy.
They put him in custody because it had not been declared what should be done to him.
Ugh.
Yahweh said to Moses, "The man shall surely be put to
Of
death.
course,
Called it,
Yahweh.
Emily.
Of course, Yahweh said that. Of
Called
course.
it, Emily.
All the congregation shall stone him
Wow.
with stones
Why?
outside of the camp."
Why? Just because he's like around?
Because he did work on the
he
Sabbath.
did work on the Sabbath.
Wait.
He picked up sticks.
Oh.
He could have been playing a game. Maybe he's playing pickup sticks.
I'm sorry. I missed that entirely. That it was Sabbath. I thought they just found this guy. I thought they just
found a random
They
guy.
just found a random guy like out in the woods, and they're like, "We're gonna grab him and kill him."
Like, you can't gather
Which
any.
like also wouldn't have surprised me at all.
You're like, you cannot gather any kind of stick.
Any kind of
Yahweh's
stick.
like, "I'm sorry, he's gonna die."
All the congregation brought him outside of the camp and stoned him to death
Wow.
with stones, as
Wow.
Yahweh
Wow.
commanded Moses.
Wow. And these
Wow.
people are the good guys?
Yeah, right.
Okay, here's another hard left news story. Stick Boy story, the tale of the sad, short saga of Stick Boy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now over
we
with.
just had to throw that in there, just to remind everyone.
Just as an object lesson, and like,
PSA.
seriously, do not work on the Sabbath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do not
Seriously.
be like Stick Boy and
We
work
don't
on
care how
Sabbath.
small the sticks
It
are.
will not end well for you.
Yeah.
Got it? Cool.
Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and bid those who they make what?
Who they make the
Bid those who they make them fringes.
What does that even mean?
Bid those who they make them fringes."
What, Jace? You're gonna have to look that one up.
What?
I'm sorry.
Please, I want you to read the whole verse first, and then I will look it up.
Okay, verse 38. Speak to the children of Israel and bid. I can't do it. Okay.
I
and
believe in
bid,
you.
Bid those who they make.
Just read the
who they
words.
make.
This
But the
week,
words are so
my mom's
ridiculous.
gonna say that you're the drunk one. Jennifer.
Yeah.
I'm really not that drunk. I only had half of this beer.
I know.
Okay, and bid those who they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put on the fringe of each border a cord of blue. Okay, that was the verse. Look it up, please. Help me.
So I'm assuming it's like a fringe on, like a like
this
a
is like the prayer shawl.
caftan.
No, this is a prayer shawl.
Oh,
That fringe.
like the ones that we use
with the blue one, the ones that the Jews use. That's what it is.
So the Message Bible says, "Speak to the people of Israel. Tell them that from now on they are to make tassels on the corners of their garments to mark each corner tassel with a blue thread."
Why aren't we
Yes.
reading the Message Bible?
Because
It's
Copyright.
copyrighted, and we
Yeah.
would have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars.
Come on, Message. You're easier to read than
Yeah,
the World
but-
English Bible.
But I don't know. Sometimes less fun. Sometimes
I mean,
more
yes,
fun.
okay.
But sometimes less
okay,
fun.
okay, fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is the
Make them
the
fringes on fringes.
this
Yeah.
is the by the way wear prayer shawl. That still happens today.
Okay, well, we did that when we were meditating.
What? What are you talking
What?
about?
I mean, it wasn't a prayer shawl, but we wore like a thing.
Well,
It
you
was
wear
a
like a shawl. That's not a prayer shawl. It's not the same as like what Jews
You just
wear.
wore any old normal shawl? Are you?
No, I wore it. It was a scarf from Judy gave it to me from Thailand, I think, and I really like
Yeah,
it.
it was really
That
nice.
was my prayer
It was not the
shawl.
same- Okay, it was your
Okay,
meditation shawl.
okay.
Yeah, didn't you call it that? It was like a meditation thing.
Kind of. I'm going to
Yeah.
keep reading.
Okay.
Okay.
And it shall be to you for a fringe, that you may look on it and remember all
What?
the commandments of Yahweh and
Look at
do
these
them.
fringes.
Yeah, so it's going to be your reminder.
Little fringes.
So God's like, fashion forecast, fringes in,
And then you'll be able to look at it and think of me.
Yeah.
not fringes out.
Okay, and remember all the commandments
They're
of
still
Yahweh
in.
and do them, and that you not follow after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you use to play the prostitute.
Wow.
Classic.
Wow.
That you may remember and do all my commandments and be holy to your God. I am Yahweh your God,
Okay,
who
drink.
brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God, I am Yahweh your God.
Hold on.
Double
Double drink.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't. You know what? I have to say, of all the characters, Yahweh's like he's almost like the villain. You know,
Mm.
like You know?
Sometimes it really
Sometimes he
varies.
is.
It's like chapter to chapter. It can go either way.
Yeah.
You never know.
When has he been the good guy?
When he brought him out of Egypt, that was cool.
Yeah, okay, let's
But
Remember
it was
when he
at the
made the, like-
expense of all the Egyptians.
Well, yeah, but they were enslaving them.
I mean, the Egyptians were the Egyptian main pharaoh boy
Yeah.
was like being a petulant child, and Yahweh was like, "I'll be more petulant. Just watch me."
He'll be much more of a child, trust me.
Yeah, trust me. Don't even.
But I mean, what? Yahweh looked after like Abraham and Jacob and sons.
I mean, the parting of the Red Sea,
yes.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The manna
Yeah,
was
manna.
good when it,
Yeah.
the rock with the water
Gave those weird dreams to Joseph.
was neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Why do dying men call for mama?
What are you
What?
looking at, Emily?
She's looking at the ads
I'm
on the
looking at
side
the ads.
of the...
I'm sorry.
Emily, you need to install ad blocker.
For four
Okay.
prayers,
No,
every
ad blocker
husband
breaks
needs
the
to
site.
pray
It
over
doesn't break
his
it for
wife.
me.
It makes it so
Well-
I can't switch translations.
Well, I don't have to worry about that. So we need to move. We're going to go on to Psalms now.
Yeah, I know.
But what is the apocalypse? 10 things Christians should know.
The woman who survived mom's abortion tells Democratic senators,
no,
I
Emily,
do
stop.
exist.
Stop. We're going to keep reading the Bible.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of reading the Bible, Emily, it's your turn to read us Psalm 90.
Salmon.
I feel like we should have maybe some nice like musical underscoring for the Psalms.
Yeah, I
'cause
feel like
they're
a
sort of
harpsichord.
poetic.
Little harpsichord.
Yeah, or like a little
maybe
string
harp.
quartet or a harp.
Harp is probably good.
Or,
yeah. Okay.
something really nice. Yeah.
Okay.
So, well,
And then as Emily falls
As
asleep,
freaking
the harp
yawn.
music
You know what?
lulls
It's
her to
late,
sleep.
okay? It's late, and I've been having some beer, and I've been working since freaking 9 o'clock.
okay,
this
read your
morning.
first psalm.
Okay,
Okay.
this is it. This is an exciting moment.
All right.
We got a psalm here.
Psalm 90. Lord, you have been dwelling place. Wait,
Try that again.
damn it.
Wait.
You have
What?
been
Do
our
you not-
dwelling place.
Do you not have the little
What?
title?
I have the little title. in
What? No, I
brackets.
don't
Emily
got no
doesn't
title.
have it.
Prayer by Moses, the man of God.
Wait, can you click on those brackets? What?
Okay, so
Emily
in
doesn't
our
have that.
version that Jason and I are reading, it in brackets it says a prayer by Moses, the man of God.
Isn't everyone a man of God? Like, if they're
He's like
into God?
the most man.
No,
of God.
okay. But again, when I asked Miles, my friend from China, who is a theologian, I was like, "Are you a theologian?" And he was like, "Well, every man who's a man of God is a theologian." And I was like, "Miles, that's not what I asked." But because he said that, now I'm like, Moses, the man of God. I'm like, well, isn't everyone a man of God who's like into God?
Yeah, but he's probably the most man of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Emily.
What about Jesus?
Can you please read this psalm?
We're so many hundreds of years away from Jesus.
Okay, can you just...
Can we just let? Can we like?
I'm saying it. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
Let's restart the like nice harp music. Can you just intro us again with Psalm 90 and then go into it?
Fine.
And read this.
Okay. Psalm 90. A prayer by Moses, the man of God. Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn man to destruction, saying, "Return, your children of men." For 1,000 years in your sight are but as yesterday.
Emily, okay. All right, take a little of the mustard out.
No, I love it.
I love it.
I love mustard. All right, for 1,000 years in your sight. Why is R capitalized?
I don't know why,
That
yeah.
is confusing.
R, but as yesterday when it is past, as a what in the night.
You know what? This was probably written more as poetry.
Okay,
Yeah, I
That's
think-
probably
yeah.
why.
Oh, I
certain
see.
lines
So
are
these are like-
capitalized. Because the psalms were sung.
Yeah,
They were songs and
poems.
wait,
poems.
is it just like pick a tune and go?
No,
Whoa. Yeah, that would be ballsy. But don't.
Like,
Maybe.
some people
No,
do
they
a
were written.
dirge.
They were
Some
written
people do like
as poetry,
a folk song.
and
Okay.
as songs.
Okay. Where was I? Anyone?
Verse 5.
Okay. You sweep them away as they sleep. What?
For 1,000 years in your sight
are
but as yesterday.
when it is past, as a watch in the night. Did you get any of that?
Yeah, okay.
Poetry.
It's
Poetry, Emily.
It's poetry.
Okay.
It's honest. Okay, honestly, I have to say, I'm like a little bit blown away. I'm like, oh, like actual poetry, actual
Right.
like turn of phrase and like imagery and metaphor and allegory, and not just this straight up like, yeah. And then we found a guy gathering sticks and then we killed him.
Killed him. We killed him real good.
It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Okay, all right.
It's so much more beautiful than the stuff we have been reading.
You sweep them away as they sleep. In the morning, they sprout like new grass. In the morning, it sprouts and springs up. By evening, it is withered and dry.
Okay, see, so this is like an allegory
For what?
Human life.
Okay.
He's making this point of like people live and die,
Cool.
and it's like a second to you, and we're just like the grass, like as insignificant as the grass that like springs up and then is dead.
But we piss you off something awful real quickly.
Yes.
Well, we'll keep reading. I think we're going to get to that,
Ooh,
but in
cool.
poetry form.
For we are consumed in your anger. Oh, yeah. We are troubled in your wrath. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. I just want to tell the listeners out there that Jace is doing an interpretive dance next
Yeah,
to
I'm
us.
kind of doing hand gestures along with it. It helps me
Doing a little bit of like
process.
Happy Hands Club style
Yeah,
hand gestures
yeah.
for it.
For all our days have passed away in your wrath. We bring our years to an end as a sigh. The days of our years are 70.
Oh,
Oh, all
Okay.
right. Or even by reasons of strength, 80 years. Excuse me, I have to burp. Yet their pride.
It's really ruining
you're
the poetry.
really yes.
I'm sorry. Yet their pride is but labor and sorrow, for it passes quickly, and we fly away. Who knows the power of your anger? Your wrath according to the fear that is due to you?
Question mark.
You?
Because who knows
Oh,
the power of your anger?
yeah. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Relent, Yahweh! How long? Have compassion on your servants. Satisfy us in the morning with your loving kindness, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad for as many days as you have affected us. Or
Afflicted us.
afflicted us. Oh. That was
Yeah,
a
it's
different
a little
meaning.
different meaning, yeah.
For as many years as we have seen evil. Let
Oh,
your-
I see.
Oh,
Make us
oh,
glad
yes.
for as many days as you have afflicted us. So, like, for all the shitty days, like, make some good ones
Yes.
too.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God, Emily.
Please,
Stay
there's like
awake.
3
I'm
more
awake.
verses.
I'm
You can
just-
do this.
Let your work appear to your servants, your glory to their children. Let the favor of the Lord, our God, be on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. That's
Okay,
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Wait, was it? I don't know.
And baby, it's probably because
it
we've
was
been so
whatever.
inundated with like reading Levitical law and numbers for so long that it's like the slightest bit of poetry. I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. But
Yeah,
it
it
really
was
is
whatever.
compared. Like, it's such a different image. It's so funny that like apparently chronologically they put this in here that we go from literally we killed a man for gathering sticks. That's what Yahweh wanted to this image of like,
jeez,
oh my
yeah.
goodness, like of impermanence
Yeah.
and like the beauty of how short human life is, and this whole idea of like teach us to number our days, so like kind of teach us that like this is going to be impermanent, and we know
Life
that
is short,
that life
yeah.
is short. Like
Yeah.
it's really beautiful.
It is.
Clearly unimpressed. Please yawn a third time and just bring us
yeah.
home.
Okay, listen. I'm just saying, like,
What are you saying?
I don't
What are you
know.
saying?
It's just still like
What are you saying?
death and destruction, and I don't know. I just listen. you two. I have never been like into God in the way that you all once were.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a different thing.
I suppose so.
It's
Yeah.
just different. I'm not like reverent at all.
Ain't that the
But
truth?
Emily, what I think we're saying is just make us glad for as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have seen evil. Right?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, we're asking you.
Make
For
you
all the days
glad?
that you've given us crap.
Listen, I
us
bring much
something
joy into both of your lives. You know
That's
that.
true. That's true.
I make
Yeah.
you laugh all the time,
That is true.
and
That's
I
true.
often serve as mediator. So
Yes.
between both of
That
those
too.
things,
Establish the work of our hands.
That too. Yeah. Establish the work of our hands.
Establish the work of our hands.
wait, who's God and who's the other person in this scenario?
I don't know. We're just riffing. What do
Yeah.
you think's going to happen next?
Probably more people are going to die.
Probably.
God's going to kill more people, or he's going to help Joshua and Caleb
Yeah.
defeat the Canaanites.
Well,
Or maybe that's not going to happen until later.
let me give you a little bit of perspective here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What?
9 episodes of
That
numbers
many?
left.
Yeah.
So it's a good chunk of numbers left. I'm pretty sure before numbers is out, we will have taken Canaan.
Okay, you think so?
I think so. I think that whole thing of like the next generation's going to
Okay,
happen.
All right.
But we got quite a few more episodes left.
We do,
So the question
yeah.
is like, what's going to happen in the meantime?
Well, how many left turns are we going to take into like, oh, by the way, let me get even more precise about what you're supposed to offer to me. And oh,
Yeah,
by the way,
that's-
let me tell about another
that's true.
random story of someone we met in the desert and we arbitrarily killed just because we could.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
you know,
That was
because that
weird.
kind of is an obstacle in the midst of the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I wonder how much more it's just going to be like instructions before we get back to
We never know with this book.
Yeah.
We really never know. It's a
It's
freaking
very
landmine.
strange. Indeed.
keeps us guessing.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
But I am truly looking forward to seeing what else happens. And maybe hopefully at some point getting into more Psalms.
Yeah. It's going to be a while before we get back to Psalms, but it was nice. It was a nice little break.
It was
little
nice. I'm
refresher.
glad that you all were intrigued and excited by
Yeah.
the little bit of poetry. So
Yeah.
we'll get more of that later.
And
for
next
sure.
time, hopefully, we'll record before bedtime so Emily doesn't yawn the whole time.
Yeah. That too.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at DrunkBibleCast, on Instagram at DrunkBibleStudy, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Numbers is Motivator by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.